Just watching the 20th anniversary in-game event preview.
The War Within is now live, and while we can't wait for everyone to experience the upcoming endgame content, the train isn't stopping.
Yes,
Arriving on the PTR
it should
soon,
look good.
the team will be testing a new anniversary event for World of Warcraft. Today we're here with Holly, Brett, and Leah to share more on what the live team has been cooking up. So Holly.
Yes?
Let's talk anniversary.
Yeah, I mean, 20th anniversary for World of Warcraft.
Could you just say a noise
30th
again?
For Warcraft and 10th for Hearthstone. What an amazing journey, and to be leading into it this year. You know, our commitment to make the game feel alive every single day that you log in. All the work we're doing to kick off the World Soul Saga. So excited that War Within is launched and everyone's in it now and part of this world story. And we're gonna see where it's going. We're not stopping. So anniversary is coming up, and we've got some good friends here to talk about what's coming.
With such a big milestone for the game, how did you approach this year's anniversary?
It's a great question. Last fall even, I started to look into what kind of event we wanted to do. We've had various events in the past. For the 15th, we did that really epic raid. So I did some ideas, and it really became a patch. We sat down, we did a huge brainstorm with the live team, and then we started to pick the top ones and see what we could do to cover all of our different player segments. So it was a really fun experience to flesh out all these cool ideas.
What about now? I can hear you.
By far the top one, everybody remembers Blackrock Depths really
every time I join like a Discord channel, I need to change the audio a bit on OBS.
So yeah, everybody really wanted to do
frustrating.
something with Blackrock Depths. And so as we looked at all of these features, we really wanted to make them new and innovative, but also harken back. So we are going to be bringing Blackrock Depths as a 10 to 15 player raid. We're really excited. We have 8 main bosses, 5 mini bosses, and basically we'll have LFR, normal, and heroic difficulties.
I remember Blackrock Depths, I was there with my hunter just farming that gladiator's chainmail over and over and over again.
It was always random too, so you didn't have a chance always.
It took forever, so I'm excited to go back in there and hopefully get my revenge.
I remember going there and dying. So, you know, if anyone wants to carry me in a heroic,
Holly's actually on this.
Ring me up.
What other features are there going to be in the anniversary event?
Yeah, so we really wanted to do an outdoor experience to sort of revisit the Gates of Ahn'Qiraj opening. And who better to take us on this adventure than Chromie?
Oh no.
We love Chromie.
So Chromie has this codex that she uses to safely display the past. And well, you can expect there's going to be some crazy time things happening with that. So we're going to have enemies popping up that should not be there within Syllabus.
It had no programs on it.
Legion, Karaji, and we're going to see some familiar names
How's that happened?
like Chondrius, Assyrian, and
patching issue there on IT's end. I needed to restart it again, and then it hooks up to the patching domain. It's like, oh dear.
Again.
And help eliminate
as we would say, timey-wimey. Speaking of the past, is there anything else that we'll be revisiting?
So we've heard the community loud and clear. We know that time walking is very popular. So the team has put together some incredible time walking dungeons.
And some of you may be thinking BFA, but that's not quite yet. We're actually going back in time to fill in one of the areas that we have not hit yet, and that is the original dungeon. So we're going to be bringing Deadmines, Zul'Farrak, Dire Maul, and Stratholme. So there'll be...
What? They're bringing back time walking classic dungeons. Deadmines, Dire Maul, Zul'Farrak, Stratholme. Okay.
2 Dire Maul wings and the 2 Stratholme wings. They'll be introduced with the 20th, but they'll continue into the regular rotation afterwards. A couple other things that we're going to change with time walking. We're going to allow players from 10 and up to do it, so a lot of those people that like to level will have more opportunity there. And then we're also realizing that a lot of people already have all of the items from the various vendors, so we are going to do a vendor refresh, and so you might see some new mounts and pets and transmogs show up on each of the vendors as we go through the different time walkings going forward.
So I can go to Dire Mall, get loot and more loot and more loot.
Yeah, we're really excited for everybody to get a chance to go after the things they like. You know, if they enjoy doing the dungeon run or if they're looking for more of those old transmogs that haven't been available.
Yeah.
Is there still a chance for Baron Rivendare's charger to drop?
We may have a chance in time walking for that mount actually, yes.
I got that on my first kill, by the way.
Are you serious? You're that player?
It's the only one I got first try.
That's so awesome.
My lucky one was the Headless Horseman's one.
Oh
so
my
I
gosh.
got I couldn't get the charger, but I ended up with that one. So
It took me years to get that one.
So when I think about WoW's anniversary event, I always think about the Caverns of Time and the party there. Is there any changes to the celebration?
Oh yeah, we have a lot of changes. So you're used to going into the Caverns of Time to sort of experience the anniversary. But you're gonna notice right away that everything is right at the entrance, right outside. And there's all kinds of activities there for people to do. We have a mini trial of style kind of event called Fashion Frenzy, where you're gonna have like different themes to dress up to and vote on your favorite transmogs. We have a storyteller, Lorewalker Cho, is gonna tell a few different stories and you get to participate in the audience. We also have Mount Mania, which is a fun game where you're gonna get to kind of show off your mount collection.
That's a perfect one for you. Right?
Yes, I love mounts. I love showing off my mounts. I'm really excited for that. There's a lot of different things for you to just explore outside of the activities. We have an ice rink. So you're gonna be able to just slide around in Tanaris. We have a pet corner where you're gonna be able to turn into your pet. We have costumes. You can cosplay as heroes and villains from the past. You can run around and like scream different voice lines at people, which is a lot of fun.
My favorite's Illidan. You can be like, you're not prepared. You can just stand and tell everybody they're not prepared.
We also have guest relations where you're going to be solving riddles and clues and other things to help out the visitors within the Caverns of Time.
Oh, so like Secrets of Azeroth?
Yeah, it's like a Secrets of Azeroth
And
sequel,
our
basically.
lawns
that.
look as
I had so
well
much fun with
kept as
that.
ever.
Is Korok's Revenge, the PvP brawl, coming back?
Yes, so Korax returns. We'll have that during the whole event. We actually moved the vendors to the new hub. We also have the 3 world bosses returning, the world dragons. Then we have
What? What the fuck is this like time walking event thing? So we got Korax Revenge coming back, so we might actually be able to do some PvP and actually benefit from it. That'd be nice. And they're bringing back the fucking world dragons. Although I just remember them being a bit of a nightmare.
Too far away.
Azurgos and Kazakh as well. Plus, we have 2 new gate crashers. Chaw of Anger is going to show up, and so is Archivon the Stonewatcher. They'll both be out in Tanaris as well, similar to where Doomwalker is.
With so many new activities this year, are there new rewards?
Of course, as we looked at the marquee reward for this event, we've come up with a cool riff on a Phoenix mount. So basically, Ashes of Alar was a really good one back in the day that we really thought was iconic. And so we've iterated on it, and now we have this blue Cold Flame Tempest mount. It's got armor on it, and one of the cool things we were able to do is here at Blizzard we have service rewards. So as you're here a few years, you'll get a sword and a shield. So we use that as our basis to do the armor on that mount. And we enjoyed it so much, and the artists, they actually spent one of their hackathons making our service rewards in the game. So you'll be able to collect through the 20th the sword, the shield, the crown that we have. We even have a ring toy that we're going to have players able to get.
It's kind of iconic to have essentially a World of Warcraft team member transmog.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Yeah.
We have to get suits of armor added as one of our rewards.
Yeah, 30 years, right? We haven't picked the 30-year service reward yet.
We also have a balloon toy, which is really cool. And my favorite is the baby Dreadlord pet.
Oh my god.
So I'm excited to go to the hub and become my baby Dreadlord pet and run around in the area as a...
With your little sword.
Oh yeah. One of our artists, Mott's, he was able to put together the sword like Kozak has, but in baby form. So it's really cool that it fits really well.
It's like a butter knife. So cute. Are there any rewards for the Warcraft 30th anniversary?
Yeah, so we have some faction crests, which are going to be back pieces for each of the 4 Warcraft 3 factions, which is Orc, Human, Night Elf, and Scourge. And these are going to be coming in the November trading post.
How will players get these cool rewards?
It's a great question. We are going to be introducing a new currency this year. Players will be able to collect it from our weekly quests that we'll have for each of our features. And then we also are making sure that if you're really into the Season 1 content, you can still do those weekly quests and the weekly activities to collect the tokens there as well. You're going to get a lot of tokens, and you'll need them because we do have one other big reward. As we started to think about this, we talked with our artists, and everybody really agreed we needed to really go iconic. And we looked back at our Tier 2 sets. So we ended up making all of the Tier 2 sets modern with the new modeling, the new VFX. I can't wait to see people walking around in the Judgment armor.
What about the classes, though, that weren't available when Tier 2 came out?
That's a good point. You know, we didn't have monks back then, but we didn't have evokers back then. But we did have a dragon, and they wore armor. And so we really looked at NPCs that were at that period of time. So Nefarian was our model for doing the evoker set. We looked at also like other iconic NPCs that existed back in the day, and so each of the new classes do have their own set. So all 13 classes will have a Tier 2 up-res set.
Speaking of classes, there's some cool changes coming.
Yes, I'm so excited for Drakthir to finally get more classes. So you can expect to see 6 new classes with them. We have Hunter, Rogue, Priest, Mage, Warrior, and Warlock. And we're also getting a new skywriting talent, which is called Squadrons, where you're going to be able to have 2 Drakthir companions flying alongside you in like a formation, which is so cool.
Oh my gosh.
Amazing.
Drakthir gonna be like Top Gun.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Gotta reserve my goose name.
Everybody's gonna be reserving now.
Yeah, that's true.
Is there any other class changes coming?
Yes, we've heard loud and clear from the shamans that they are ready for something new, and we are ready to deliver. We have brand new Ascendance forms. They really are cool looking. They match each of the elements that shamans use.
They look amazing.
They really do.
This update sounds so amazing. Before we go, is there any other additional details we should tell players?
Yes, one of the things we really want to call out is in the past, these events have been 3 to 4 weeks around the anniversary, but this time, this is the patch. The entire 1105
New
patch is really
keyboard arrives
dedicated to the
today.
20th anniversary. It'll go for more than
Oh, yeah.
months.
Plug
We have
that
a lot
in
of
so I
time
don't get
for everybody to
sticky
get into these
goo all
features,
over my
experience
hand.
them, play as much as they want,
Every time
and
the
work towards
because
those
the like
13
wrist
sets.
Yeah,
support
and
was
even though we
like
just launched the War Within,
melted away
this
on the
PTR
left-hand
is
side.
coming very,
All
very
right.
soon. So keep a lookout for the news on when that's coming to you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for taking the time to talk about the 20th anniversary with me. And I can't wait to celebrate the 20th anniversary with you in game. See you next time.
When is that coming out?
Hello everybody, my name is Ratnos and welcome to another War Within stuff you can do video thing during these first few weeks where there's kind of not too much to do aside from level characters or whatever you want, chase any cool cosmetics or mounts or whatever that you want, unlock the Earthen, do the campaign. I figure in this video though it would be good to talk about the things that I have
Have you
been
created your Irvin?
discovering or using.
No,
my
not
time
yet.
on. It's worth noting that almost everything in this video I would describe as a low value use of your time. The only reason it's worth doing is that there's not anything higher value that you could be doing with your time in game, but there is potentially outside of the game. You know, if you've got anything to do in real life that you could do this week instead of next week, that's probably better than almost anything in this video. So first off, one consideration I would say is there is PvP gear. So starting next week, we think you can probably buy champion track gear for Conquest, and then you can socket it using this bad boy, the Vicious Jewelers setting, which costs you either like 10,000 honor and a bunch of gold, or 15,000 honor if you want to use your honor to buy the material that you could also buy with gold. But there is another way to earn the vicious jeweler's setting, which I will reveal to you now. Every 6 hours, so at 2 p.m., 8 p.m., 2 a.m., and 8 a.m. Pacific, at least on the NA servers. I don't know if it's also those times on the EU servers. If you have war mode on, one of the 4 zones in the PvP areas in the zone, so that's here for Isle of Dorn, that's here in the Rigging Deeps, that's here in Ajkahet, and if it tries to spawn in Hallowfall, it's actually bugged. I think it would be here, but it just doesn't spawn, so 1 out of 4 chance that it just doesn't spawn every time it tries to. There will be a treasure chest. That treasure chest starts spawning on the top of the hour, and then like 3 minutes later, it's actually clickable. And the first 5 people to loot it get a vicious jeweler's setting. So I've gotten 2 of those now. I've got one on 2 different characters, and that potentially can save you a bunch of honor if you want to get one of these things. And then you can use this next week, if you earn some conquest next week, to get a socketed piece of champion track gear. There's a lot of hoops to jump through for not an awful lot of reward, it's worth mentioning, right? Like, you can get champion track gear from Bountiful Delves next week, from, Mythic Plus, easily. You can get Hero Track from Mythic Plus starting on the 17th, so the week after, but still. You can get champion track and Hero Track from the raid on normal and heroic.
I think it's really
starting next week.
Not that it's dumb.
Is this huge?
Not that it's dumb, but like the thing in Hallowfall, spreading the light.
Mm.
You get the chest and 1,000 rep for just lighting 3 or 4 of those braziers.
Yeah,
is like,
is that what you
12
have to do?
Crystals.
Yeah, I've got loads of those things.
I know, right? Yeah, I've got hundreds of them. It's just like, okay, 1k rep per week, just with them. And the bit that you use to get the armor items from them, obviously you can trade it between your warband, which is extremely helpful. Because now my main just has an abundance. Which is great.
Mm-hmm.
No. Is this something? Yeah, it's something. So I've been doing it. There's also been the Darkmoon Fair that's come out that's active right now. In addition to a rep bonus that you can get by sitting on the carousel, you can also buy Darkmoon hats that let you get that rep bonus out in the world when you click it. Until the Darkmoon Fair is over, so it doesn't let you carry it.
New follower, phone.
Darkmoon Fair, or after
Appreciate
the Darkmoon
it.
Fair.
Sorry, I missed that earlier.
And there's
just
also
watching
profession, knowledge, and skill points available from Darkmoon Fair Profession Quest. So if you're interested in that sort of thing, that is a good use of your time. Other things that I've found, so rep-wise, once you hit Renown 12 with Hallowfall, there is a bunch of extra one-time rep that you can get through this Life on the Farm thing. So once I hit Renown 12, I did this. I'll link this in the description as well, this Wowhead post. Another thing, there is rep from Bountiful Delves. And the way it works is that when you finish a Bountiful Delve, if you use your key, you can get 1,100 rep, which does scale with Darkmoon Fair buff, for each faction, randomly, once per account. And it's not weekly, it's a one-time thing.
Wow.
But it picks randomly, and it can try and pick a faction
I've got
that
7
you've already picked.
keys.
And in that case, it just doesn't give you anything.
I got
the first
7 keys, by the way. 7 Bountiful
give you rep.
keys.
Everyone after
Might
that
be worth
is,
running through
RNG
just a couple.
until you've gotten all 4. If you want to do this, you could do this on alts that you don't care about using the keys on.
But they go up to level
in
8,
theory,
isn't it?
Should be
next
saving
week.
their keys till Heroic Week, because on Heroic Week you can get track gear for all
Yeah,
your
I guess so.
right? And that's pretty
I
good.
can't
It's the best
remember
thing
what he
you can be
said.
doing during normal and Heroic Week, pretty much, and it actually gives you a really good Great Vault for the following week. So saving your keys on main characters is pretty good. But if you really want to min-max rep, in theory, the best thing to do would be to do these on your alts this week with the Darkmoon Fair buff, so that you get the extra, 110 rep or whatever. So, again, we're talking about some small potatoes min-max here if you want, but There's also a script here if you've done some Bountiful Delves and you're not sure which reps you've gotten. There's a script in this Wowhead post, which again will be linked in the description below, that you can just type this in and it'll put in your chat box which reps you still haven't gotten from these Bountiful Delves. So that's another thing you can be doing. Other thing to note is that one of the 4 zones every day will have orbs floating in it. Today, at the time of recording this, it's in Hallowfall. Haters will say I should have recorded this in Hallowfall so that I could show you what these look like, but they're basically just floating Azurite orb things. You can fly through them for 1 resonance crystal and 1.5 on average weathered crests. So if you want a bunch of weathered crests, but you don't want to do content, then that's the best way to do it. Just go to whichever zone has the floating orbies that day and fly through them until you get all the weathered crests that you want. Because besides that, there's really not too much else going on this week besides whatever you want. If you want to farm, there's a cool mount in Isle of Dorn, Alinira, that you have to get 10 crackling shards from just farming mobs on Isle of Dorn. Very cool mount. It could be something you might be interested in. You farm rep from rares and stuff. You know, you can do professions. Professions are a great use of your time if you, like, they'll last you through the whole expansion. So getting knowledge, getting your stuff crafted, getting your profession tools crafted, very good idea. I'll link again these week auras that kind of track things you can do, like weekly tasks or whatever, profession stuff. I'll link those in the description of this video as well, but I'll show you real quick as well. I made a little checklist of things that I want to get done by the end of the week, and you may want to steal some or all of these things as well. So the first thing on this list is both 34 slot bags. In Hallowfall, there is a treasure here that lets you get a 34 slot bag, and in the Ringing Deeps, it's down here. There's a vending machine, and you have to click the 3rd, 4th, 1st, and 2nd in that order buttons, and then you can loot the vending machine and get another bag out of that. So getting those on all my characters is something that I'm doing because why not? I don't know. This is something to do. Getting all my profession equipment, either crafted blue profession equipment or auction house green profession equipment, depending on the character, depending on how much acuity I have. Getting my 584 necklace from Hallowfall 11, I believe, renown. 584 trinket from Severed Threads something. I forget what number Severed Threads rep that is. Severed Threads 11 as well. So the way that works is this trinket, it's veteran track. You can get fragrances into it. So if you want this thing, I'm not sure it's a great trinket. It's mostly just eye level. It makes other trinkets cheaper to upgrade potentially. If you want to upgrade some dungeon trinkets, I don't know. If you've already got better trinkets, not something you need to worry about. But you can put in 2 secondary stats into it by getting these fragrances, which you buy in the Nerubian city place, and you just look up the Wowhead post, or the Wowhead page of this item, and go into the comments if you want some waypoints for all the different stats that you can buy for it. Yeah, it doesn't actually give you any primary stat until it procs, and then you need to notice the pheromones and run into them. So if that sounds like something you're not going to do, then this trick is probably pretty bad. But it might be still good for item level. All rep rewards claim, just talk to all the vendors and get all of the crests that they give you at the different rep points. Cloaks and banners returned. I've put a bunch of teleport cloaks and rep XP banners in my character's bags to level with. I want to put those back, get the bag space bought free. Veteran gear bought from all the vendors, right? So this is helmet, shoulders, chest piece, bought from all the vendors that sell them. That's something, I guess my DK has done that. Darkmoon Fair Professions, Kedge knowledge. Again, there's knowledge you can buy with Kedge in the city. If you have this,
so Breach was just saying, is there like
it will list them as well as something that you can go
so next week does Heroic open, and then is it a week later that like Mythic opens for the raid?
I do recommend doing Darkmoon Professions. Clean bags, you know. I
thought last time they just opened it all at the same time.
You're probably not going to like it. My bags have been in a bit of a state. I put on the Better Bags add-on. Last week I didn't have an add-on for my bags, and you guys yelled at me. But you can see
not that I'll be touching Mythic raiding anyway.
I'm sure I'll clean that out before next week.
It's all a part of the Race to the World First, isn't it? Because obviously they're all going to be going heroic.
Potentially a great use
doing the heroics.
Is finishing the campaign. Because historically, there has been a kill Fyrakk for an enchanted Worm's Crest, kill Sarkareth for an enchanted Worm's Crest, kill Razageth for Primal Infusion was what they called it back then. So the odds that there will be a kill Ansarek for an enchanted Wound Crest is pretty high, and in the past that's been gated behind being up to date with the campaign. So I want to do that on all my characters just so that I can have that quest if I, so that I can get that Ruined Crest and not do any of the campaign next week when my time will be more valuable, or the week after that when my time will be even valuabler. So that's a fun thing you can do. Fun thing on all your characters if you want. And then just craft and enchant all my gear so that I'm up to 590 and not. I actually got some garbage on this character and my other characters are worse, but I'll have that sorted out before the end of the week. That's a problem for future me to deal with, like over the weekend or something.
Not really.
Anyways, that is everything I could think of for this video. Yeah, let me know in the comments what stuff you've been finding. What kind of, if there's anything cool with your time. I feel there have been some comments below my videos in this series, I'm not trying to take a critical tone to the fact that there's not too much for me to do in the expansion at this point. Obviously, I've played this game a lot, and I think it's good that this has had a slower pace for launch. So there's definitely a lot of other stuff you can do as well. This is a video focused on things that are potentially minor optimizations, but again, there are a bunch of cool mounts you can go and chase and try and collect. A bunch of side things like that you can go and be doing with your time now. Or you can also still just be leveling characters, taking your time doing that kind of stuff. So if you're doing that, that's great. Don't feel any rush to get to max level this week to do any of the stuff that I've talked about in this video, because all of it is, even like that PvP socket thing, almost certainly it's not irrelevant, but it's pretty close. It's not something that you need to worry about doing unless you are somebody you're sitting at your computer right now and you're like, I wish there's something I could do in WoW. This video is trying to do the best I can to give an answer to people that are in that spot, but either way, we'll have a lot of stuff to do come next week. So hope you've enjoyed this video. Probably the last one in this series. Starting next week and starting later, we'll be moving into the regularly scheduled raid content. Maybe some tier list content, maybe some guide content. I'm going to try and do a Heroic Ansarek video early into Heroic Week, so look out for that. Hope you've enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next one. Bye.
I need to go into a meeting, so.
You've saved Mereldar, champion. We'll drive the remainder of this shadowy lot from the city. Wait, no! They've sent a force backup and retaken the Dawnbreaker! Get these shadow cultists off my ship! Light of the flame! What is that fresh horror?
For cool. I am perfection. Taste venom.
Idiot.
This darkness is deadly. The Lamplighter's blessing will keep you safe.
Acid sting. Stay still. Must recover strength.
That's a no.
You've done it, champion. You've broken the unholy alliance between the Order of Night and Azj-Kahet.
It is a bright day with exceptionally favorable winds. A perfect day for a race.
Right, I'm back.
Welcome back.
And welcome to the podcast. It's the podcast that we do. It is the podcast. It's a WoW podcast, obviously. And
well done, Tally, on not pressing the button twice.
Thank you.
You did such a good job. I'm really proud of you.
I never tap the button twice. I tap the button once and then I'm done.
Exactly.
And then I see it through to the end.
Exactly.
And then I have a sleep. Yes, that's right. We've been away for a couple of weeks.
What's Preach doing today?
More Space Marine.
More Space Marine. I'll tune into a stream in a minute, because it was genuinely interesting yesterday.
I absolutely loved it. It was a really great time. I had a really good time. I enjoyed Gamescom. I enjoyed doing the podcast. I loved seeing people show up and say hello and sit with us and be patient through our technical issues. And
can you imagine if they hadn't and we've been doing it to an empty sort of arena, or worse, an arena full of people that had no idea who we were,
well,
instead of people who loved and supported us, which is what happened.
Yeah, exactly. The thing about Gamescom is that there's so much to do. It is huge. It is like BlizzCon times a bajillion, and everyone's there for completely different reasons. Like some people just want to see X game or Y game.
Wait. You mean not everyone was there?
Oh, it got
not
me
everyone
again.
was there to look at the huge key art of Xalatath. Not everyone was there to queue for 4 hours to get on the most amazing VR experience I've literally ever done in my entire life.
It was genuinely
with the
really
Dalaran,
incredible.
the Escape from Dalaran thing. It was incredible.
Yeah. It was a load of fun, and so super grateful for the chance to go out there and to be there and to see some of you guys who came and said hello. That was amazing.
And of course, last week we had the podcast where we talked about our initial impressions of The War Within and gave our kind of initial review of the questing.
Excellent work.
And
I can see that the two of you will soon be formidable competitors.
Everything like that. Or at least we would have done if we didn't have like horrible COD and crud. And basically, we got to Thursday and we were a bit behind in work anyway. And we've been streaming hardcore because Twitch drops, mate. Daddy's got to pay his rent.
Exactly.
Okay. And all the rest of it. And then Thursday came around. It was like, hey, we can do the podcast today. And I was like, yeah. And then an hour went by and we were both still in bed. And it was like, no, we're not going to be doing it. And you might be able to hear it. And apologies if you can. But we are just a tiny little bit snotty and kind of under the weather.
It's
even
gross.
today, a whole other week later.
No, you've had it the whole time. And then I was fine for like a week. And then a couple days ago, I was like, hold on. It's coming for me.
I can hear it right now. I can hear it in your nose right now.
Yeah,
it's there.
It is here now. But I was fine. I was kind of fine last week. I was just a bit tired, like normally, just life tired. And now I am like my bones are aching. My nose is running tired. But anyway, no one cares about that.
No one cares about that. Not even me, if I'm completely honest.
No, exactly.
So
Tally's
we have
like,
a lot to talk about today. We've got so much to talk about. We've got all those initial impressions and review. And do you know what? I think we're in an even better place to review the World of Warcraft expansion, The War Within, this week than we would have been last week. Because this week, of course, we got the final quests of the campaign. We got basically everything. We got the Earthen unlock. I've done that as well. We basically had
our miners had to leave their tools behind when the Nerubians attacked. Please retrieve them.
So, this is it. This is the opening. We've had it now, and we can give a proper response and review of that. But I don't think I'm spoiling it too much to say, oh baby, WoW is so back.
Oh, I thought you were talking to me.
We are so bad. What are you talking
I literally stopped and turned around and looked at you. I was like, what are you saying?
If you didn't think WoW was back enough with this whole opening patch of The War Within and the way that everyone's enjoying it and the story, and there will be spoilers later on for the final cinematics of the leveling campaign and stuff as well.
Exactly, yes. So full disclosure, there will be big spoilers probably throughout this discussion. So if you haven't played through what is out already in terms of story,
we'll give you very fair warning when it's coming up, of course.
Yeah, sure thing. But yeah, there will be spoilers discussed in the stream. Oh, and as ever, if you want to join the conversation, if you have any questions, anything you want to share, contribute, pick our brains with, that is what these super chats are for.
Oh yeah, if you want to drop us a super chat with a question or something you'd like us to respond to, we usually spend about 20 minutes going over those at the end of the episode. Thank you, Rico, for getting that ball rolling. Our official, yeah, best buddy, remind us to do super chats, shout out, person in the audience, wicked. But look, there's not even just all that to talk about, Evertel, because also yesterday we got news about the 20th anniversary.
My new keyboards arrived.
Which we're going to have to talk about first.
We're going to have to.
Nice.
News rundown right at the very beginning here, right?
We are, and I was thinking about this. I can no longer do a beta rundown.
No, but
I can do some kind of rundown.
News rundown, hoedown, head down. It'll be amazing. It'll be brilliant. It'll be so good. So you know how when Legion launched and everyone was having a really good time, and then they announced 7.1 even before like the expansion had launched, and so there was like this deluge of content. I am kind of feeling like that with War Within a little bit at the moment, and the 20th anniversary announcement with Holly Longdale not looking tired on the Wowcast. Did you watch it?
I have not watched it. I just watched the key point. I just got the summary from
Holly Longdale was not looking tired on the Wowcast, but because she never looks tired, because she never looks anything less than like the most beautiful woman on earth, second most beautiful woman on earth. But she did sound tired. She sounded really tired. Like,
Listen through this Taliesin podcast first, and then I'll tune into some of preach spewing emperor nonsense. Nah, he's good fun. He was like full on RP and Space Marine.
That's what I'm imagining. So the 20th anniversary event, when it goes live, what's it going to have in it, Evie?
Oh my gosh, there's so much stuff. Probably the most visible one are the reworks of the Tier 2 armor sets. That is what they teased this new drop with.
With the shoulder of the Judgment set.
Exactly, and everyone saw that, and people were like, I know what that is.
Oh, it was so good. Well, do you know what? Because I'm a stupid lore dude, I did think they would be working it for the 20th anniversary event. I suspected it might have just been the Judgment set, but there was a part of me that was like, they're teasing Arator coming back to the story in War Within. That's what I was like. I don't care about no 20th anniversary event. Give me that beautiful half-elf boy. Give me Turalyon and Aleria's son. Make that happen. Get him back in the game. I don't want to wait till midnight. I want to see that dude now. I want to see what kind of ears he's got. I want to see what model.
I think.
Dude, I'm so excited about seeing Arator's new model. You have no idea. I'm like into it. I'm sorry, I interrupted you. That was very rude.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I welcome it. So yeah, so we have
stunning
yet
new
perilous
creatures.
Tier 2 sets
when their numbers
reworked,
surge, honey production halts, triggering extreme aggression instead.
There's a lot of justice.
There's a lot of justice in these. Not just the Paladin, but the other ones. And then there are also armor sets for the classes that were not around in vanilla, so those have been added as well, and I think they look pretty cool.
Well, how do you feel about the Hunter set for Tier 2?
I love it.
You always
I love it.
Wow.
I think it's
really?
crazy.
Hang on, I'm just not used to this. I'm going to stop talking completely, maybe, and you can just say that again with silent.
No, I love this Hunter set. Like, I've always loved the original. It looks absolutely wild. But I like it. I feel like I'm seeing a trend, particularly among like warlocks, to be wielding like the most kind of like acid green, pink, like color combos. I've seen this. I feel like I've seen this a lot recently. Like there are a lot of like little neons to counteract the beautiful kind of subtle like Hallowfall armor sets and stuff. So seeing this again, like acid purple and gold, insane dragon set like for Hunter. I love it, and it looks like just a nicer version of the original one. And you know why I love it? I know it's gonna look cool on my Night Elf.
Yeah, I mean, I was like, I forgot what the Hunter one looked like, and you said you loved it. Yeah. And I looked back at it, and I was like, wow, I feel like if that came out today, she would like it. And then I saw like the purple scaly legs, kind of like, but yeah, that is gonna look good on a Night Elf, and therefore Evertel is gonna like it.
Exactly. I'm a simple woman. Like, is it gonna look cool on my Night Elf?
There's something so simple about these sets, which is like, I mean, obviously they're classics, everyone knows it, but then seeing like I was a bit worried that the Priest one was going to be a bit rubbish, and it kind of depends how you interpret some of the basically just squiggles on like 1D like textures, you know? It's like, okay, what do we think this squiggle was supposed to be exactly? Like, because, you know, we have to know and we have to be able to show it. Is this going to be a 3D asset? Is it going to be a thing hanging down? Is it just meant to be a pattern, or is it meant to be an actual thing? You know? And I think for the most part, they've come out really, really well. The first one looks legit, like really, really nice. I even like the new ones, to be honest.
Yeah, Demon Hunter is kind of insane.
Oh, well, I mean, so, look, okay. So Demon Hunter, man. Every time this happens,
Thanks
every
for
time,
your
every time there's new
assistance.
tier sets and stuff,
With
we do
your
our new
help,
tier set
we can
videos and
calm
go
them
through it.
down
And I'm
and
like,
guide them
if
back
you
to their
could swap out the
honey-making
Demon Hunter
duties.
one for like last season's Demon Hunter one, or like you could swap out any Demon Hunter transmog from a tier set with any other Demon Hunter transmog from any other expansion, and I swear to God, I would not know. I'd sit there going, oh, I love this new transmog. Oh, it's so it's so good for the class, you know? Oh, it's so great. I love the blindfold. Brilliant. I never know the difference.
Tattered clothing and a
like,
blindfold.
You know, you could tell me that this is their version of the tier 2 for Demon Hunters. You could tell me it was from Legion. You could tell me it was from BFA. I wouldn't know. I'd be like just slapping like a little seal, going, oh, yeah, brilliant. I love it. Give me my money, please, Ian. Yeah, so like it's fine. I mean, it's great. I guess it's fine. Whatever. I do really, really like the well. Can we pour one out, please, for Evoker tier set designers, please? Because it must be the worst job in the world. It's like, welcome, artist, to the team. I love your ideas. I love your work. I think you do some incredible things. We like you so much. We're going to put you onto the Evoker tier set design. And it's like, why do you hate me?
To be fair,
why
they
are you doing this?
They have a unique challenge. You know, obviously they have to create something, that works as a full set, but also with the shoulders and the belt you can see as well. And so, I guess they want to strike this balance between making sure that it's not too over the top, because your Drakthir, when you're in your Drakthir form, probably looks pretty elaborate. Yeah, so it's fine.
This is what happens.
It's fine.
Every time the Evoker tier set designer comes back for their meeting with Chris Metzen or whatever, right? Chris Metzen's like, hey, I really love your work, dude. How's it been going with the wait for it, Evoker design? And guys like, look, I worked really hard. I've drawn up this tier 2 thing, and I was like, you know, obviously we didn't have Evokers back in tier 2. We did have dragons, so I've based it on Neltharion, right? It's not. I've worked really like hours of my life, like you know,
really
weeks of my life. Here it is. I put it on this bit of paper for you, and Chris Metzen's like, oh my God, this is incredible. I love this design. This design is the best design I've ever seen. Your work is amazing. Everyone's gonna love it. Shame they'll never fucking see it.
Do you have a query?
You know what?
And dude's like, I fucking know, man. It's like, and everyone when they're walking down the corridor, they're like, yo, John, excellent work on the Evoker set. Everyone's gonna love it if they could fucking see it. I'm sorry, Evoker dude. I am sorry. Like, it looks great on the picture.
I think it does look nice. However,
no, we'll move on to that later.
Will move on to
One thing at a time. Laser focus.
Oh right. Okay. Sorry.
Yeah, there has been controversy with the Monk set though, right? Okay, because well, the Monk set in the trailer, was this beautiful like emerald green, all of it with like green kind of smoke. And in the pictures that were then supplied afterwards, it's kind of red and black and gold, right?
Gotcha.
And it seems we've had confirmation at this point now that it's going to be the green version, which I think people are happy about.
Yeah, who knows?
We were cool with that.
Surely we'll be seeing some recolors, right? In that case, this is just an unofficial way of saying there will be recolors. I want to believe it.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
I think they look
I can submit my treatises to you, Which is it, Angwin or Seren?
Yeah, my hunter Angwin.
Okay.
People are meaning on that shit, but I think it's amazing.
Yeah,
it's so good.
It's goofy, but it's great, and that's the thing. These are really old school sets. Like, they're always gonna look a little bit janky, even when they're upgraded. And I think that's the charm in them, right? Like we love the Judgment set. We love the Paladin set because it's so old school, and just even though it's been like up-resed, still has this hint of like blockiness and jankiness.
Yeah, which
I mean, those
adore.
shoes.
I
The
love it.
shoes are insane.
Yeah.
Why are they? They're just like big brown shoes. Like they're just big clunky ass shoes. It's like,
you know what? The shoes are the bit that I haven't got from the Judgment set.
You don't need them.
I've got the Judgment set, and I farmed that
Someone
stuff, like
didn't
every,
get the
every
message.
reset for
These
months,
are
and
earthen
the
resources.
shoes are the only bit I hadn't got, and I got like the shoulders,
Yeah.
right? And I'm like, oh, now the shoes are the only bit I haven't got.
It's fine. You don't need the shoes. You don't.
I might just skip out on the shoes, and do you know what? I'm really glad that I did. I'm really glad that I never bothered farming that raid one more time in my entire fucking life, because I'm really, really glad that now I'm going to get this shiny ass Gentleman set to use instead. So
It's true.
there we go.
It's true.
Yeah.
Right,
And then I
so-
thought, yeah, I play troll anyway. I'm not going to see this.
Exactly. So that was kind of like the headline. That was the teaser for the 20th anniversary.
Yeah, and these are like these are the marquee rewards really, which is
Objective
most of what we
secured.
see. On the
This
trading
puts the
post,
local
when
situation
it goes
back
live
in
as
our
well.
favor.
And it's
Appreciated.
going to be the Traveler's Log rewards, which I think is pretty cool.
Oh, fuck.
Let me switch my screen here. There we go. You can get back pieces representing the logos for each faction in Warcraft 3. Because it's not just World of Warcraft's 20th anniversary, Avatar. It's also Warcraft's 30th anniversary.
Yes, of course.
It's always like, it's like me and my mum. My mum is exactly 30 years older than me, and Warcraft is exactly 10 years older than WoW, which
that's
is
nice.
absolutely incredible. And you know, you got like the Lordaeron shield with swords behind it. You got the Horde one with the axes. What do you think of the Night Elf stuff? I always ask you about the Night Elf.
It's fine. I mean, it's cool. It's like
it's Warcraft 3, isn't it?
Yes, well, exactly. And I like it. I like that it exists. I'm glad that people can get it. I think it's gonna be super cool. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
It is an
you asked me
excellent
to
day
adjust
for a
the
race.
volume upwards?
Come
No,
fly with
we
us.
have to live with it. We almost murdered everyone when we did that before.
We wouldn't dare touch it again.
I feel like the volume's okay this time actually. Like, but you know, a live stream, not sure. I guess I'll touch that.
Yeah. Okay. Brace yourself. Protect your ears.
So yeah, and so the event.
I think it's really good that you can go on your alts and get the like special assignment level 80 chests as you're looking
Yeah.
up. And then you've just got a bunch of chests to open when you max level. Brilliant.
Yeah, sure, fine, whatever. People love time walking raids. I think that's great.
They do.
We don't tend to really go for them in our
guild.
In our guild so much, really. Or if we do, maybe I don't go along to those ones. I don't know, but it is what it is, right?
No, it's Black Rock Depths.
Oh, what did I say?
I don't know. I think you said something else.
Did I say Black Fathom Deep?
Yeah, you did.
I'm an idiot.
You said the other black.
I'm stupid. Like, no. Get me off this show. You need to go solo. I'm done. Clearly, my brain is rotted. Like, absolutely. So yeah, no, sorry. Blackrock Depths. Thank you for the people in the chat. Don't worry. When it comes to loading this up to people's preferred podcast
Excellent work.
platforms, which
I can see that the two of you will soon be formidable
I'm ready to do
competitors.
that, and everyone will think I'm still really cool. So give me a shout out on what some of the events that are happening are.
Well, so I mean, just some headlines really. It's happening in November and December. It's good to know. You basically, in order to get like new bits, there are loads of new things. There are like mounts, toys, pets. You collect bronze celebration tokens. So you have another currency to kind of collect.
Yes, currency.
Yeah, love currency. Yeah, so you've got time walking dungeons. You also got some new mounts. Oh yeah, so they have these like also service award cosmetics, which I was like,
oh, this is actually pretty neat.
This is quite cool.
Like this, yeah.
This is kind of cool. So I did not understand what was going on here, but they're actually little replicas of the things that Blizz employees get. So like after 5 years they get a sword.
Someone
after 10
didn't
years, they
get
get a
the
shield,
message.
And
These
for 20
are
years,
earthen resources.
with the company they get,
We need you to
help.
mount a defense.
Oh, pretty cool. So you can actually get a little.
It's one of those ones where when they showed them on screen at first, I was like, those are kind of lame. Those
Yeah.
are kind of dumb. Don't like those transmogs.
Yeah.
But once it was explained to me, the meaning behind it, I actually really like it now. I'm like, yeah, cool. For a 30-year anniversary present, can they have like a good Evoker transmog?
Oh.
That would be amazing. That would be really good. It's like, here, what, you've been with the company for 30 years, here's your full Evoker set. Thank you, cheers. I look forward to the next anniversary as well.
They're also bringing back some old school like mounts and pets from their previous anniversaries. So you get the baby Blizzard Bear, which was their 4th anniversary pet. The Onyxian Whelpling, which was from the 5th anniversary. Molten Corgi from the 10th anniversary. I've got that one. That's when I think that's when I've started picking up those little anniversary things. So there's the Core Hound mount and Lil Nefarian.
Oh,
yeah,
great.
which we've got as well. So
loads of banging stuff.
It's cool, and these were like previously obviously super exclusive. You could only get them for kind of logging on during the anniversary events, but now if you don't have them, if they're missing from your collection, you can also add them to your collection.
And there's like some weird thing where there's like stage and they're going to be having kind of like transmog competitions, and it's going to be like a kind of a fairground, right, where you can go become your pet for a little bit. There's like an ice rink and stuff. There's like you can with little toys, they can become characters from WoW and go around.
Oh dude, don't just fucking rob everything that I'm trying to get access to.
Thing, which I'm up for. I'm always shouting at people. That's kind of my job, honestly. So, like, it sounds like a lot of fun. You've got some.
It's just another odd quest for Blizzard to put out where the stuff isn't like shared via loot publicly. So
you know what? No.
if you try clear some mobs,
It turns out, well, it turns out that WoW is shit.
somebody else can just run in and be like, lol, that's my like world quest item thing, and you can't then loot it afterwards. It's like
It's a really good thing about this, but it's making me a bit concerned, and I hope you can understand my concern without taking it as me being like a party pooper, and without me taking it as being like, you know, a stick in the mud and like ungrateful and stuff like that.
All right, go on.
This 20th anniversary celebration basically is patch 11.1.5.
11.0.5.
Oh, 11.0.5. Okay, which means
it is a patch.
Yeah, it's basically an entire patch, and that's a good thing because usually you get a couple of weeks to kind of enjoy these things and get all of these rewards and stuff like that. And it's a bit of a rush. There's a bit of FOMO and stuff, and you know, I think that's okay for anniversary celebrations. It's a birthday party, right? You miss your birthday party, yeah, it's fine. But obviously the rewards here are so good, and the tier 2 thing is something that everyone's going to want to get. Like, it's absolutely wild how many people I'm seeing online saying, I'm literally resubbing to WoW for this. This is like incredible. And I think, you know, the quality of the game at the moment as well is something which has kind of, you know, lots of people are on the fence about coming back anyway, because they were like, game's good now? Brilliant. We'll talk about that more in a little bit. But then they show this, you know, the tier 2 sets and like this big event and stuff, and everyone's like, whoa, yeah, actually, you know what, yeah, I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna come back. I think that's wonderful. I think that's brilliant. My concern is War Within has had such a strong opening. I would go as far to say that War Within, at the moment, I would rate as the best opening patch in WoW history.
Oh wow.
Like, I don't know what the raid's gonna be like. I don't know what Season 1 is going to be like, but in terms of like the leveling story and the excitement that was generated through leveling story, how much I enjoyed following that story, exploring the zones, like the whole leveling process and then initial endgame process, I genuinely think this, like, you know, it's head and shoulders above Dragonflight at this stage. I love Dragonflight.
Now that the dust has settled, we can all move on to our next agenda.
End of, right?
Expressing gratitude,
This is way
friends.
better because it takes all of the amazing philosophy changes and gameplay changes, and you know, very important that had to happen.
Yeah.
Of
They're already there.
Dragonflight, yeah.
They're the base.
And then it's put like a really exciting story on top with all these great characters and really interesting zones. It feels exciting. It feels vital. Like playing this expansion has given me the same vibes, not just from the game, but from the community and like the whole experience as Legion did. Right?
We've got
And, like,
hostiles.
that's a special
You need
time
to
play
step up
WoW.
and
It's
engage
kind of
them.
incredible.
We want
it
to
feels
preserve
wild.
this place.
And I'm really scared that we're going to lose momentum. You know, when the 0.5 patch comes out, what should be happening in my mind is we're moving on with the story. We've just had this big climax of the story that we're going to talk about in just a moment. But you can't sit on that stuff. You can't leave that be. What we need is to carry on, dive into the next thing, be setting the scene for the next bit, and to carry on that great momentum with the War Within, right? And my worry is that having an entire patch that isn't any of that, and it's instead the 20th anniversary celebration, which is like completely removed from the War Within. And I know you can get like the currency and the rewards by playing War Within Season 1 content. They were clear about that in the WoWcast, and I think that's brilliant, fantastic idea. But I think at a time when we should be capitalizing on how good the War Within is and the story progressing, and something that Dragonflight did really well with its 0.5 and 0.7 patches, which was, you know, gearing up for the next patch and leading into the next patches so well. I'm worried. I'm worried about us losing momentum in the main game.
Okay.
And while we were having a little holiday.
Do we have any indication that this is the only content coming out with that patch?
No, but they said pretty much. Now, in the roadmap, they said there would be story quests and story content, right?
Good. I need story content.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
what I need.
And if that means War Within story content, then depending on how much there is, and you know whether it's good or not, obviously, then yeah, obviously that will assuage my fears, and that's all we kind of need really is some good continuing the narrative, you know, making sure that players are still caught up in it and still involved in it and still, you know, getting little payoffs here and there, wondering what's coming next and stuff like that. I think that's so important right now. So I'm not trying to shit on it or anything. I'm not saying this will happen. It's just like a worry that I have that we might lose a little bit of momentum.
I totally get that concern. On the other hand, like we already have this established kind of patch schedule and release.
Task
and,
complete.
I feel quite grateful that we have the
place
momentum in
safer.
the first place, you know what I mean? And Dragonflight, I feel like proved for the most part that they, you know, they kind of stick to their promises and they have been delivering like a pretty good like cadence. So I do understand your concerns, but I'm still kind of like in the honeymoon phase, and I'm like, this is just good. This is just gonna keep being good, right?
Yeah, for sure, right? Obviously. Which I mean, I think everyone is incredibly hyped about the anniversary event. I think everyone was like pleasantly surprised by how good it is. And I've got to say, when I was watching the WoWcast where they were explaining it, I got a little bit emotional. You know, when I was kind of, you know, just emotional for the fact that this game is 20 years old.
It is crazy.
I was 21 20 years ago. Like, I barely even remember my 21st birthday. You know, well, I mean, who does? But like, you know, it was
16. I was a child. I was an actual child 20 years ago.
Absolute nuts, man. And so like, it is emotional, and obviously the game has become a huge part in our lives personally. But you know, also, I mean, we've got guildies who are doing a motorbike trip around Europe together right now, who are calling in on our house next week, and or a couple of weeks or whatever, and you know, gonna like pop in and say hi and stuff as they go through South Wales. And you know, we went to a guildie's wedding a couple of weeks ago in Denmark, and it's just been such a huge impact on our lives. Obviously, it's how we make our living. There's this amazing room we've got now, you know, paid for our kids because they were expensive, man.
Children are so expensive.
Yeah. So yeah, it's been like a wild ride. It's incredibly emotional for me to see this happening now when the game is in such a good place as well. That is really helpful, honestly. So yeah, exactly. And you know, I had similar worries about Miss Pandaria Remix when you know, I was like, oh, it's so good, and there's so much of it is going to make War Within seem underwhelming, and that obviously didn't happen. But yeah, I mean, I'm sure I'm wrong, but that's just my initial. I have to admit, when I was watching the cast, and I was like, yay, and everything they were saying, I was like, yay, 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 and then he said, this is basically patch, 11.0.5. I was like, oh.
Do you think they might use some of the old content like Blackrock Depths? Will that kind of tie back to the story? Because that Moira is in there, right?
Oh,
so
sure. I mean, yeah, possibly.
My understanding is that this is like
it's like a reworked. It's not a classic recreation. It's more of a season of discovery kind of like we're doing new stuff here.
You go back, they even say in the description, it's kind of with the power of the bronze dragonflight, Moira is revisiting her history. So this is, you do get a bit of story through that as well.
Okay, yeah, sure.
So
but it's like pasted on story, right? It's like
I know, but I would argue it's a clever way of reusing old assets. Like it's a good way of using what they've already got. That I never played Blackrock Depths.
I wasn't listening. I was watching chat. Were you talking about Hunter Transmog again? Because all I heard was assets.
Excuse me.
I just heard you talking about like ass sets, as in sets which complete ass, and I just assumed you were talking about Hunter Tier again.
Assets.
Oh right, okay.
No. Speaking of assets, look at this key art which we've had on the screen.
I've had it on screen for a while.
Yeah, which they've featured, at the Gamescom panel and some other places. It suddenly occurred to me because there are loads of boobs in this picture. They're great, Sorry.
How many boobs are in this picture?
Well,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 boobs that I can see. Rawls wearing his armored vest,
exactly,
so otherwise there'd be more.
It just made me laugh because everyone's got these they've got their character boobs and they're great, except for Xal'atath, who wears them on her shoulders. I realize that's what her orbs are for.
Shouldn't you be dressed as Xal'atath right now? Didn't you lose a bet? Shouldn't you be dressed as Xal'atath right now? Wasn't that the bet? Hang on. When I won that bet, I was kind to you. I could have said someone who wore a lot less clothes, but I said Xal'atath. And think of all the subs.
Unexpected visitor.
Could have got if I'd said something else.
Excuse me, Tally. That's already in the bag. We
Who's that?
Amy.
Amazing cosplays, and she was like, "Let's do something together," and I was like, "Yeah." Anyway, but I digress.
For shame.
I cannot remember how we got there.
You were talking about boobs, so and the key art,
assets.
right?
Yes, talking about reusing assets.
Yeah. The key art, by the way, is stunning. You can get it in a landscape, like we're showing on screen right now, but you can get it in a portrait version as well, which is good for phones, right?
Nice.
So get that one in there for your phone screen. I might actually even do that. That's kind of which one should we print out for a poster?
That's a good one, actually.
Yeah, I feel like this one would make a good
poster. The vertical one is really good for poster.
Yeah,
is it time to replace Jaina yet?
Maybe. We've got to be careful with our pictures that we have in the background, though, because the cameras, if they have faces on them, the camera will focus on them instead of us.
Yeah. The camera's
they have sharper features. They look more human than we do.
Oh, they're so good.
Got to be very, very careful. And yeah, just thank you to whoever made this key art for not putting the jailer in as well. Much appreciated. Very cool. I do like how everyone is very serious and somber, demure even, you could say, in this picture. Apart from Savannah's is just like on one. She stubbed her toe. She's like, what? And stepped on Lego. She's I need them more.
I love this picture so much because it really, everyone has such character and personality and really, even Illyria with her little emo cut, it's still, she's given it some. I really appreciate it. So yeah, so that is in essence the 20th anniversary.
I'm extremely excited about it. It's going to be very, very cool. My niggling worries about losing momentum notwithstanding, I think obviously it's a massive dub, right? It's such a big dub, and like so much of War Within,
I need to go get more coffee.
Seamlessly into
I need to invest in a pot, really.
So much of War Within,
Yeah.
But it's also, unlike
Pot
Dragonflight, very
of
heartening to see people who
coffee.
aren't playing the game right now being very interested in it and very intrigued by it, because I think Dragonflight absolutely will go down as the expansion that righted the ship. You know, they just like took a step back, took a little breather to use.
And I got to see whether my keyboard's been delivered. So.
You know, your team's been under pressure for a little bit. You know, you haven't got any possession of the ball for a while, and then as a midfielder, the ball comes to you, and you just put your foot on it. You just stand still for a second. You just take stock of your options because you're like, I just need to take like the wind out of the sails.